Hello African pilot viewers, welcome back to AviaDev Gaborone 2026, and I'm joined by Dumi from Blake Emergency Services. For my audience who perhaps don't know, tell me more about Blake Emergency Services and what it is you do.
Blake Emergency Services is a British-based company. We are present on all 6 continents. We provide emergency response planning and business resilience services to airlines, shipping companies, as well as a myriad of other industries.
So what is the core of the service offering specifically for the aviation sector?
Most airlines do not have an emergency response division. You cannot keep people around just in case something goes wrong one day. We then fill in that gap for airlines, normally and sometimes on behalf of the airline or its insurers, to help look after an incident or an accident that may have arisen, plane crashes or turbulence events, or even hacking and business continuity and resilience solutions.
So I think most people think, well, emergency services, it must be like an incident as in an accident related. I think many people overlook the fact that there are different aspects. So I think maybe just break it down a bit more.
For example, we had a client that had an issue with their call center. We operate 2 call centers around the world, one in Southeast Asia and one in Europe. And we have a language capability of over 50 languages. And we were able to pick up that call center work or that call center connection for this particular airline that had lost that capability through a hacking event. And we picked that up on their behalf. So that's business continuity, for example. Sometimes you will find crew may have a traumatic experience on board with an unruly passenger, or a death on board, or either turbulence events where people get injured, or a full-on hull loss with a lot of fatalities, and we will help with all those events.
And there's so many details that go into that. I mean, I was looking at the list of people services that are supplied. I mean, it's quite in depth.
If an airline has a total hull loss, we will step in right on day one. We will provide a call center for families that might have had relatives on board or associates on board to call into. Because as you know, an airline's call center is to arrange flights, change bookings, cancel flights. But now you suddenly have 2,000 people calling you a day asking about their relative who might have been traveling from Johannesburg to Lusaka, but they're not sure which airline or on which day. We provide that gap where we take up any emergency related calls. Our number then gets flashed onto the screen of that national television news. So saying victim families can call this or inquiries on this number. We deploy an advanced team that will go and step into the airline's emergency control center, where that airline might be coordinating the response to the crash. We can assist with the communication, putting out information to families and to news outlets, model the messaging, and then we take a look at what's available locally to manage a response depending on the number of fatalities. We will work with the police, the local police. The crash is normally owned by the state. So state of occurrence takes precedent. We do not take over. We do not aim to take over. We are just there to assist. If the country is very capable and is well resourced, we will stand by until they'll allow us to assist families with repatriating their loved ones. But if they do not, we can provide expertise from forensic scientists, be they DNA experts, pathologists, odontologists, or anthropologists, to assist with the autopsy side of things. We will provide embalmers for preservation of the remains, and later on funeral directors to assist families with sending their loved ones back home and conducting the funerals back at home. In the case where in East Africa now, we've just completed the construction and inauguration of one of the biggest aviation memorials that are out there today.
From an emergency and response perspective, it's not just the souls on board, it's also the aircraft itself that needs to be recovered in order to do those investigations. Does that form part of what you do to a degree?
We look after the soft side. We look after the human remains. We look after the property side. We look after the families. We make sure this side is taken care of. We are in partnership with loss adjusters and recovery companies that are out there. We work together with them primarily because we're normally the first on site before they start recovering the hull and cleaning up the site and trying to return it to an environmentally acceptable standard. We look after families mostly. We make sure and we try our damnedest to return to them their loved ones as much and as far as we possibly can.
How does an airline engage, your services? Is it ad hoc? Is it retainer-based?
Well over 160 airlines around the world that are on a retainer with us, that have got us on a retainer-based process where they have signed a contract with us between 12 to 36 months or longer. They have access to our 24-hour, 7 days a week call center. We are live all the time, and our response times to those clients are infinitely shorter. It's within hours. Within an hour to 2 hours, we can have a team on the go. Depending on how far out they are based, we will be on the client site within 24 hours maximum. If now, let's say a client does not have us as on retainer, and we have been put onto the client by the insurer, that takes a little bit of time. But we deliver what I believe is a world-class product to the clients on behalf of either their insurers or the airline itself.